All right, so we are going to continue our journey with how to with hip stretches. We're going to talk about, work on, I'll show you a double pigeon, also known as a fire log pose, I've heard it called in a yin or restorative class. This is my favorite seated hip stretch. I find it really deep, but really gentle on the knees. I had about a good year there where doing any sort of pigeon variation, any half pigeon, sleeping pigeon, was really bothering my knees. I don't know what was going on. I couldn't quite figure it out. Positioning wasn't right, so on and so forth. So I found that a seated version was actually able to kind of let gravity take it easy on my knees. Knees were super happy, but it was also a really deep stretch. This one is also my favorite one when you are pregnant because it makes a nice little nest for belly. So there's plenty of room and it's seated, so you don't have to worry about holding any body weight or reclining. So this is my favorite. It takes a couple cues and a little bit of thought to get into it. So I'm going to talk you through it one step at a time. I'll show it to you forward and then again sideways. Blocks might be handy if you want to use them, but again, not necessary. So for this one, you're just going to right away plant your hands behind you. Fingers will point backwards behind you, and you're just going to lean yourself back. You're going to step into your feet, just like you're hanging out on the beach, hanging out in the living room. Feet are going to go at least hip width distance. Mine are going to go wider because I got some belly there. You need to cross your right ankle bone and joint, so the whole shebang, over top of your left thigh. I need to move my left foot forward to make that happen because of baby and belly, or I need to lift my butt up to make that happen to cross over. If you don't have baby and belly going, you just probably can cross your legs, so you're welcome to do that. Once you get that crossed, you're going to take your left foot, step into the heel, lift the toes up, and then toe heel your left foot over to the right. So it's inchworming itself there. Once it gets to a place that you're like, that's probably good enough, it is, and then use your hands to walk yourself forward so you're coming to a seat, and already, whoo, it can be intense. And some of you might be really lifted and kind of like, what are we doing? I can't get anywhere. Pause and hold on. I'll help you out in a second. But if that right knee starts to drop even a little, and remember, it doesn't have to drop as low as mine. I've got that pregnancy flexibility going on, and I've also been practicing a long time. We all look different, no stress. So here are your cues just to figure out what you're doing to see if this is the posture for you. First things first, right ankle, the bones, the knobby bones, the joints are resting on the left thigh, towards the knee, but not on the left knee. So get that settled and keep the right foot flexed. Right knee and left ankle joint want to line up. So for most of us, the left foot is really close to the right butt cheek, which is not helping us out. In fact, it's getting in the way. So wiggle your left foot forward so that the ankle joint and bone are pretty much lined up with the knee, right? We want our shins to be stacked on top of each other. So when I look down right now, I can't see my left shin at all, but what I can see inside legs is a perfect geometric triangle. I see right inner thigh, left inner thigh, right calf muscle, and this beautiful geometric triangle forming. That's the basic shape we're going for. A lot of us tend to rock back here. I would love if you can walk yourself forward onto your butt bones and sit upright really tall. Not a puff through the ribs, but tall. And the second you sit up, you'll see why. Wow, I now have really intense stretching happening in both of my hips. Feet can stay somewhat relaxed. Once the joints are stacked, that's fine with me. If you want more stability and more intensity, you're going to flex through your feet and push. Left heel to the right, right heel to the left. For me, I'm really tight today. Sitting upright might be plenty. So I can just sit here, rest my hands on the ground, and keep thinking of lifting my spine up taller and taller and taller. And breathing really slow and deep. With hips, things get intense fast. They get intense in the mind and intense in the body, so breathe and slow down. If you want more, you have two options. You can keep this long lifted spine and start to walk it into a hinge diagonal. And this is where baby and belly are just going to fall into that triangle that you've created. They're just going to dump themselves forward. Wow, the more you hinge forward, the more intense it gets. Heart is staying active, head is staying long, right? You can just keep yourself long. I can't even go very far today, and I'm feeling a tremendous stretch up the right side. This is where blocks come in. If you have them or want to use them, you can plant your hands on them anywhere you need to allow that hinge to happen. Another option, once you have hinged forward, is you can drop your chin into your chest, let go of some of the work in the spine. Blocks can come in handy here, and you can just rest over, or hands can just be on the ground to support yourself. And again, there's plenty of room for belly and it's soft and hanging out. The activity is in the outsides of the hips. Feet can stay as active as you would like or be passive. Again, once the joints are stacked, it's up to you how active or passive you want. Close your eyes and just take 2 more breaths in and out. Good. In and out. Perfect. Roll yourself upright, or if you're already upright, great. Again, this is a posture. Lots of sirens today. Sorry about that. Where sitting upright might be plenty and there's nowhere to go. If you're someone, sorry, I didn't forget about you, who is stuck like this, right? Right hip is up. You can't figure out how to drop it down no matter where you rock. Just like the other video we just made, you're going to send the left leg long and do a half version of that. So that's where you're going to live until this right hip can settle itself down, and then you can go into a double pigeon. I'm going to show you once sideways, so we're going to do the other leg. Woo, let go of that right leg. So you can see what we're looking at sideways. And to even ourselves out, please always stretch both hips when you're stretching your hips, never just one, right? Favor one side anyway. That's why we're all so lopsided. So you'll start with your hands behind you. Again, fingers are pointing away from you. Feet are going to go flat on the floor. You're either going to walk the right foot forward to cross it or lift up, whatever feels better. I'm going to lift left ankle joint on right thigh. Good. I'm going to take that right foot, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel it over to the left. I'm going to walk myself forward into a seat. Right? So maybe I'm still back here a little bit. I'm going to try to get myself as tall as I can. If that means I have to shift around and move the glutes out of the way, that works perfectly as well. Left ankle is stacked right where it wants to be on the thigh. Good. Right foot is too close to the butt cheek. I can see it, right? The ankle joint is behind my knee. So I'm going to wiggle my right foot forward so I get ankle joint and knee as close to stacked as they possibly can. Great. And then shins are stacked, so I can't see my right shin at all. I can only see my left shin. I have a triangle, and then I'm going to sit up really tall. My tendency is going to be to want to round backwards, but it's a lot of pressure on the abdomen, and it's also taking away from the stretch that I really want. So I'm going to shift forward, so the left knee is going to settle down. I'm going to sit up tall. If that's enough, I'm going to stay there. If I want more, I'm going to make space for baby, and then I'm going to hinge. Nice long diagonal, wide through the heart, soft shoulders, energy through the head. Good, 2 more. Keep pressing through the butt bones, good. Last one. And now I'm just going to soften my chest. So instead of pushing backwards, I'm just going to let it melt into itself and then weight my head like a bowling ball and drop it down. So I'm rocking forward. See how I'm shifting forward? Butt bones as that happens. And then maybe I'm going to grab blocks so I really don't have to do any work at all. No support needed here. This side for me is a little more open than the other side. That's just kind of naturally how I'm built. Good. Just take 1 more round in. 1 more round out. Good. Roll yourself all the way up to a seat. Again, if you needed a variation, you would just extend the right leg. How you help yourself out of this one is just lift the left leg up, move it out of the way. You can even use your hands to unravel your right leg, and then a big shake and release, right? So again, hips are intense. That one, excellent variation for pigeon or any other hip variations you want to do. Super deep. Gravity is on your side, knees are happy, and it's a great, deep, wonderful stretch with plenty of room for abdomen and baby if you need. Awesome. We will do a couple more in the next videos. And then other than that, I will see you soon. Bye.